Hi everyone, Marlene here with Buffalo Check Chicks. Welcome to Sunday Supper. So tonight we are having one of my family's favorites. You can see the TV's on in the background. I love to watch it while I'm cooking. And this is called pepper steak because it has a bell pepper in it. Now if you don't like bell pepper, leave it out. Some people like to slice up some onion and put in there. My boys don't like onions, so I don't put it in. But if you want to add some onion, go ahead and slice them up and put that in. I do use a little garlic powder, a little onion powder, and I do salt and pepper the meat. We're going to have broccoli on the side, one of our favorite veggies. So I'm going to start. This is a top sirloin steak. It's about 1 3/4 pound, and I will cube that. And after I do that, I'm going to put it in the skillet and I'm going to brown it. Now you see, I have the Campbell's beef consomme. I never pronounce that right, but I usually add 2 cans to that, and I just simmer the meat in that for a little while, and I add 1 or 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. Now, if you don't like stewed tomatoes, don't put them in. Add a can of tomato sauce, just anything tomato-based, or even slice up some fresh tomatoes and put that in and let it simmer. So I will let my meat brown, and then I will add 2 cans of soup. I might put 3 in because I like a lot of gravy. I'm going to let that simmer for a while. I'm going to add my bell pepper to it, let that simmer. If I had mushrooms, I'll put that in too, but I didn't have any. Okay, so let's get started. So here I've got my meat in a skillet, a little bit of oil, and I am browning it. I do trim as much of the fat off of the meat as I can get off. I like a lean cut. And once you got it brown, don't empty or drain those juices because that makes the best gravy too. So here I'm, actually my son is helping me here as I'm filming, and he is putting in 2 cans of the beef soup. And that really makes it tasty. Like I say, you can use the beef broth, but the consomme is much better. Okay, here comes the stewed tomatoes. We love stewed tomatoes, but if you don't like them, don't put them in. But it does taste good to have some kind of a tomato base to this. I mean, you could put a little tomato juice, a little tomato sauce, you know, whatever you like, but a little bit of tomato does taste good. Okay, here's those sliced bell peppers. And like I say, cut them kind of big so whoever doesn't like them can pick them out, because I like them and I want them in. And it does add really good flavor as well. Okay, so let's just put a lid on this, and we're going to let that simmer for 25 minutes. Okay, I got to get my broccoli. It's all washed, and I need to cut it up into bite-sized pieces, which I have here. And then I have my little, I don't know, what is that called? The little thingy that sits on the bottom of the pot to help steam it. Steamer, is that what it's called? So I've got that in, and I've put a little water in there and a little salt. Okay, so I measured out my rice. I am going to do 4 cups of rice. And I like the minute rice. It always comes out good, never fails, always nice and fluffy. So it's half and half, whatever. If it's 4 cups rice, it's 4 cups water. Broccoli's steaming up. It looks really good. And there is my, oh, that looks good. And those veggies are getting nice and tender. my pepper steak. I love it. Okay, time to get the rice going. So bring the water to a boil. I add a little pat of butter to it. I like that little bit of flavor. A little bit of salt in the water as well. And I'm adding I've got my 4 cups of water that came to a boil. Adding my 4 cups of rice. All you gotta do is put a lid on it, bring it back up to a boil, turn it off, and just let it sit. Take it off of the stove. I've put it on a little wood tray here. Just let it sit. Don't take the lid off though. All right, checking on that broccoli, and it looks good. That's a lot of broccoli too. I'm sitting outside, so you're gonna hear cars coming up and down my street. Ooh, it's all simmering and that looks good. So here's my cornstarch. When I go to thicken my pepper steak, I like my sauce a little bit more like a gravy consistency. So I just have, about a 1/3 cup of water and a couple big tablespoons of cornstarch. You can use flour, but the cornstarch is always better. Flour sometimes gets lumpy. Cornstarch never does. It always makes a really good consistency as a gravy. So look how that thickened that up. That is perfect. Very yummy. So it's really done. I'm just waiting on everything else. Okay, so I've got everything laid out buffet style. We don't get fancy. So there's my pepper steak. And my broccoli. Had to put butter on it. You gotta have butter. It's always better with butter. And there's my rice. Nice and hot and fluffy. Never fails. And of course we have some nice bakery rolls as well. Made for a real nice dinner. We really did enjoy it. And so this fed 4 adults, and we have enough leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Nice little spread there, if I do say so myself. You all have a good night. Bye-bye.